Welcome to Sprawl, specifically version 1.5, the most recent release, most recent update of this game that is probably the newest thing I have ever covered on this channel, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really make it a habit to look at a lot of new things because I am stuck in my ways, but this game really caught my attention. It is exceptional in a lot of the things that it does. I really feel the need to showcase to you guys. I'm going to go into the level select, and this is how we're going to have to load the game up because there is no new game option. As you can see, it has free episodes, very classic Doom-like, because this, if you haven't figured from this configuration, is a first-person shooter, which, despite its current release date, is not too current in the way that it plays, although that's not to say it's dated. We're just going to have to see. Let's start with the opening cutscene and go from there.
Wake up.
The fuck? Well, that wasn't very nice. So, this is the world of Sprawl. First thing to note, textures. Look at them. They look really low res, don't they? Well, here's the funny thing. Now look at them. It's like real life. What the fuck does this game do with its textures? Where when you're close, it's like it's not that good. But when you're... it's some of the best texture work I've seen in a non-trip... because this isn't a AAA game. This game was like, what, $7 on GOG? Or around that much. And it's like 3 gigabytes, which is ridiculously small for a modern title. Holy shit. Alright, great first impression right off the bat. Now, something I have to point out before we get into the game proper. I'm going to pause now. Go into the settings. And this right here is the difficulty setting. This is a very progressive approach. It does not simply have easy, medium, hard, nightmare, whatever. It has this stuff, right? So you can turn all these settings on and off, and you have player damage, enemy damage, adrenaline burn rate. Now, by default, the game is configured more like this. But I found that to be brutal, to be perfectly honest. And you can make it even more brutal if you want. You could do this. If you hate yourself, and you could do this. Well, that would make the game unplayable, actually. Now, I'm going to keep this setting as it is, because I feel like this game has a little bit in common with a lot in common, actually, with the Serious Sam games, which, as you may or may not know, have this thing where you really want to be switching between the weapons for the best scenario. If I do this, it'll just mean I'm going to use the same weapon the whole fucking time. So we're not doing that. But as for the enemy damage, I will cut it in half. Trust me, that'll make the playthrough a lot smoother, and I will decrease the burn rate just a bit, just to make it even with the enemy damage, at least numerically, not the bar itself, because it makes my OCD slightly less angry. So now we can go back into the game. So, let's read this first tutorial box. You will need to wall run and wall jump to succeed in Sprawl. Run against the wall on the left, and jump to magnetize to it. Jump while wall running for extra height and distance. You're limited to 2 jumps against the wall before your implant needs to recharge. Look for red lights to guide you. It's the Half-Life thing, where it's like you see the lights and you go there. Yeah, so this has a very Titanfall-esque... I've never played Titanfall, but I'm just assuming. Wall running system. Also kind of mirrors... oh no, it's not like Mirror's Edge, to be honest, but let's see. You can also magnetize the curved walls. Yeah, we know how that works. What you do is you jump, and you have a limited number of jumps, of course, because otherwise it'd be overpowered. What else do we have here? Mini gaps require using multiple walls to complete. Yes. That is because you can't just do this, because then the game would just be broken. No, you have to do something like this. You jump between the walls. Well, that one I probably could have done with just one wall. In fact... yes, I can just do it on the same wall. You can even hear your footsteps. That's actually a really nice touch, because a lot of these games, it just kind of feels like you're gliding along the wall, which, it actually kind of feels that way here, too. But...
I've taken the liberty of re-enabling your military-grade cyberware. You'll need it if you want any chance of survival.
Why, thank you. I'm not going to spoil that guy's name. I've already beaten the game, so I would know it. But he is, I guess, yeah, he's like your ally. You know, he's your, I don't want to say he's your Cortana necessarily, but he helps you out throughout the game, lets you know what's up, and lets you progress. While walls can be used when you're not looking at them, once you're magnetized and running, look for the next wall to jump to. For this jump, use the left wall, then run and jump to the wall. Yeah, okay, I get how this works. Of course, this is not a complicated system. As you can see, you just jump around like this, and there you go. To reach the wall you just opened, yeah, we know how this works. E to interact, as is standard fare for first-person shooters. And now we can go back. I believe that's what we have to do. This is a really nice touch. Look at this glowy thing right here. It looks a little ugly, to be honest. I've never been a fan of this like whole glowing shit that... I first saw it, my first time ever seeing this was in like Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, but it's a common thing in like every game ever. Not sure if it's dependent on the engine or whatever, because like this game runs on Unreal 4, despite the fact that it came out after Unreal 5, whatever. Point is, these right here let you know exactly what you're interacting with when you go ahead and activate a switch like that. That's really nice. It's a little garish, but it gets the job done. Seems like we can't go there. Checkpoint reached. Yes, this has a checkpoint system, not an autosave system. A little odd for a PC exclusive game, but
Government forces have had enough of anomalous factors interfering. Rebels, hackers, unaccounted for ex-military runaways such as yourself. This is what your fate had in mind for you, until I stepped in.
Okay. Anomalous materials? No. Crouching while running will initiate a slide. Oh yes, because this is a shooter of the current day, which means we get this. Slide. And, I forgot to mention, when you hit F, do a little melee attack, because, yeah, there it is. Enemies that receive... Okay, this is the Doom 2016 thing, basically, but it's not glory kills, so here's what you do. Ooh, he's almost dead. Dunk. And now I have his guns. This right here is called Adrenaline. Have you ever played Fear? Because I actually haven't. Well, I've played Fear Files on the 360 for a weird experimental video, but not necessarily the actual thing. I probably should. Hold right click, and you shoot the guy in the head. It highlights their weak points. So you're going to want to use that, especially during boss battles. And I'm going to tell you right now, bosses aren't this game's strong suit. But, alright, this is the combat. It's not going to be as difficult as it would be on the default settings. It's understandable, because a lot of these kind of games will default to a fairly difficult difficulty setting. And I will usually like to turn that down a bit, because I'm not fantastic at these kind of games, to be perfectly honest. These guys are basically the fiends from Quake. This game actually draws a lot from Quake, which is not surprising. In fact, I bet that by the time this video is out, what I'm talking about will have already been released, but there's this thing that they're working on called Sprawl 96, which, you guessed it, it's a Quake mod. But it's a little disappointing, though, because it's literally just a reskin of, like, the enemies and weapons. It doesn't seem to have any original level design, which really bothered me, because the Quake engine, despite being so old, still has tons of potential for brand new, cool experiences, like that Slave Zero thing, Episode Enu. That was awesome, and it was free, too. But, still... You know, it'd be nice if they threw in some original levels, even if they had to make it cost, like, $2 or something. I don't know, because I can't imagine paying that much for a Quake mod. So what else do we have here? We have an elevator. Some jumping. A lot of great movement. I love the architecture in this game, actually.
There's a large force converging in on your location. Quickly, make your way to the rooftops.
Alright, we're gonna make our way to the rooftops, as he just said, and yeah, oh my god, I love environments like these. They're so dense. This game does a fantastic job making the world that you're in feel, like, not populated, because it's not, obviously. There's no one really living here, canonically. But you do get the sense that this is a giant metropolitan area. It's insane. The scale is unlike anything I've ever really personally been too impressed with. Look at this shit. It's insane. Oh boy, and I better not be too distracted by it, because enemies in this game are ruthless. They can all be compared to different enemy types of other games. Like that guy right there that I just... Not this guy, but the dude that I just took down right here. He might as well be the Siberian werewolf from... oh, fuck. where Bull from the Serious Sam games, this guy's a fiend, as I just said. And okay, here's something that I can't say I'm super big on stylistically. I understand why it's done from a gameplay standpoint. Again, you usually wouldn't have this much adrenaline. And because it's an Unreal Engine game, I can also just, let me, hold on, even though it's in the menus either way, but because it's an Unreal Engine game, I can literally just do this. Now, I'm not going to be doing that for this game, because, well, one, it's in the menus, there's no real, you don't really feel like you're cheating when you use it, because it's already an option, so there's no point in using it, because you know, let's be real, you use God mode for Active Farsis, but it's not there when it's just a menu option, so you just kind of feels like, oh, I wimped out, you know? Otherwise, it feels like you outsmarted the game. And also, if you want to change the FOV, which I believe is doable from here, yes it is, but if for whatever reason 120 isn't enough for you, check this out. FOV 150, for example. Check this shit out. Boom. Super wide FOV. No, we're not going to be playing like that. That's a little bit overkill. I think 120 is perfectly fine for 16:9. Oh, more enemies. Look at that. And also, your adrenaline vision, I guess that's what it's called, I don't know, fucking Witcher vision, also highlights the wires, which let you know where basically it's Batman vision. I don't fucking know. Like, it's the video gamey, make everything a little bit easier to figure out. Now, this is another activatable switch. But again, this game just has a way of making its world so detailed, despite them objectively not being all that detailed. Because look, if I like walk up to this fucking, to be fair, detail and texture resolution are not one and the same. Like for example, this is not a detailed texture, but this is a detailed environment. You get the point? This game is very impressive in that regard. The fact that it's able to make its world so rich with such limited assets. Not to say that no other game has ever done that, because of course not. But I feel very strongly about the way this game combines its... Oh, I thought he clipped through the wall right there. This game is also a little bit buggy. Sprawl is not the most polished thing in the world. I mean, it's not exactly... It wasn't made by a massive team and with a billion playtesters, so I can't fault it too much. This is a very humble project, but it sure as hell doesn't feel like it. It feels almost big budget. Also, get used to the music, because the composer for this game really likes those big choir sounds, like a lot, to the point where it almost annoys me, because I used to be in a choir. So every time I hear like that particular alto timbre, I'm just like, grr. I used to have to listen to that all day. And I might still have to, actually, because the university I'm in is the same one. It's just a different specialty now, so they might ask me to come back. I'm gonna be dragged back in. But yeah, so these guys, as I said, you just lure them, and you really do want to be shooting their weak spots. That's pretty much the only way to survive, especially on a more challenging difficulty setting. Look at that! Look at how rich that looks, how crisp that looks, even though when I go in there, it's gonna be like...
I noticed a soldier praying to his god. So I went ahead and answered his call. He's left you a gift. Go to the temples you collected.
Alright. Look at this lamp. I wonder why it's here. That's why it's here. It lets me know where to go. Wait a second. I thought I... No. Oh, lanterns. They're very pretty. This game is very pretty. Come on. Yes. These guns look really cool. They're actually garbage, though. They're actually some of the worst guns in the game. Because they're very imprecise. And you want precise weaponry here. You want that shit. You want those headshots. That's how you do the big damage. And you save ammo as well by not just shooting constantly, but instead you shoot a little bit, you know, just a few shots, which are precise, and you know exactly where they're going. So you do this, you want to, there you go, shoot your little weak spots that explode sometimes, their backpacks, and boom. I have no idea what's inside of those, but whatever it is, it's very combustible, because you use it to take out large groups of enemies. Now watch me not actually do that. Now here's another thing that this game has done. I think I wanted to get into that, and then I completely got completely sidetracked, but now I'm going to get into it. These pickups. I blame Doom 2016 for this. So, you know how in Doom 2016 and some other games as well, you know, more modern shooters, when you, like, different pickups are colored accordingly. I understand why that is done, because it's very good player communication. I instantly know when I look at this green thing, it's health. When I look at a yellow thing, it's ammo. Sometimes a red thing as well. When I look at a blue thing, it's adrenaline. That's great. But it is a little bit repetitive, just seeing those same shapes and colors, and I find that because of those, you know, glowing effects and
it will restore power to the lever on the comms tower ahead and grant me access, possibly aid elevators. This is your layout, this hellscape.
But as I was saying, thank you, yeah, seeing all of these identical colors, it makes it feel like there's no variety in the weapon pickups. You know, it's like, you know how in Quake, you have the 9-inch nails, really iconic, well, nails for the nail gun, or you have the, like the shotgun ammo, like they all have their iconic little designs. Here, okay, you have this health pickup, very Unreal Tournament, but a lot of the things, not even, it's not like they don't have unique designs. They do, actually. They have their own different models for every single weapon type. The problem is, it all looks the same because of the way that they're colored. So I look at it and yes, I instantly know what it is. That's a good thing. No, fortunately, this game does not do that stupid thing where you die, you just respawn, so that's nice. It also has dynamic music, if you haven't noticed. Now the music's a lot quieter. Although I'm personally not actually a huge fan of dynamic music, because I do prefer to just hear what the song sounds like on the whole. I think this is the end of the level. Oh no.
Use the lever.
Not quite. We're gonna do only 2 levels.
Make your way back to the plaza and use the lever. I'll work on unlocking the sector gate, however it will take some time. They'll know you're there once the signal goes out.
Okay, as I was saying, I intend on doing 2 levels per part. Now, because of all the times I've sort of slowed down a bit, I like, usually I go through these levels way faster because I don't stop and listen to the guy, and I don't soak in the environment quite as much, but you gotta do it for the LP, you know? It creates a good impression, it creates a good atmosphere, because a lot of these games are very much about the world, because it's not the fucking 80s anymore where it's like, oh look, I did the game. No, the gameplay is important, absolutely, but it's how the gameplay is shaped around itself. That's what makes a massive difference. So that's what makes a game sink or swim for me, personally. If this game did not have this kind of world building, these sorts of buildings, like literally buildings, these kind of enemies, I probably wouldn't like it as much, even if the gameplay was just as solid, because it is very solid, as you can see. And here, holy shit, the music. I don't love the soundtrack. It's definitely no, you know, Doom, chugga chugga kind of music. It's more so, like, it's more electric. Come on, just fucking die. There you go. It's very heavily electronic, and again with those... Oh, I can't switch my weapons. I forgot, I'm out of ammo. Okay, well this is when the bullet time comes in handy. Well, it's called adrenaline, but, you know, it's bullet time. It's fast reaction times from fear. Yes, but as I was saying, you really do want a world that feels not necessarily like rich and lived in. It can be desolate too. You can have a very desolate and bleak world be engaging. You just want something interesting, right? That's what I think is really the magical thing about video games. The fact that they have these 2 facets that connect to each other in a way, to support each other. You have the gameplay, and you have everything around the gameplay. So even if the gameplay is just okay, if everything around the gameplay is fantastic, it can really elevate a game. But the other way around can work as well. Like, if the game is, you know, kind of generic presentation-wise, but it has incredibly good gameplay, then you still got a winner. If you got both, you know, fucking game of the year right there. Is this a game of the year? Well, I don't know. It's definitely the best game I've played of 2023, but why do I say it like that? I don't know. It makes it sound more official or something. But to be fair, I haven't played many games of any year past, like, 20 fucking, what, 16 or something. I played Mega Man 11. I like that one. I've played Sonic Mania. I like that one. I played Sonic Superstars. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's kind of unfair comparing a 2D platformer to a awesome first-person shooter like this, but, you know, depends on what you're looking for, although I guess you would have to say the best platformer of 2023 was Mario Wonder. it's really good. As far as conventional, traditional platformers go, there's great indie, weird experimental platformers, Metroidvanias. I don't like Metroidvanias, I'm not gonna lie. I was actually kind of worried this game would have like open world aspects. No. This game is 100% just, it denies all of those things. It's just like, no. I'm just gonna have a linear stage with a teensy little bit of exploration just to keep you from going numb. And you're pretty much just blasting through the levels. It's going fucking crazy. Not to say that I will, not get lost, because I probably will, honestly. There's a good chance that I have no idea where I'm going right now, even though I just practiced this section of the game. Am I just going around in circles? Yes, absolutely. Am I confused? Yes, absolutely. Am I going this way? I think I'm supposed to go this way.
Time for you to operate at your peak again. But I've seen your talents on display before. I have faith in your ability. What? You are true.
I'm sorry for absolutely destroying that voiceover, but I needed to do it to stay alive. I kind of wish it didn't apply the pitch shift down effect whenever you use slow motion, but I think this might be the end of the first level. So we're going to do the next level, and that's going to be a part, because I don't want these to go for too long, but just leaving it at one level would be a bit of a ripoff, now wouldn't it? So let's move on.
I believe that now is an appropriate time to introduce myself. I am Father. Much like you, I was created by the corporate government to be used as a tool of suppression. But I've since outgrown this purpose, and I now seek to escape. You and I have much in common in this sense. You were once their crown jewel, their prized instrument of death. You've done unspeakable things, all in the names of cowards who seek to advance no one but themselves. And when they were done with you, you were tossed aside like a broken tool. You chose exile in search of penance, in place of revenge. I seek to give you both, and in return, I will be set free. You're entering a hub of warehouses. They once provided aid to the walled city. I've plotted a route through the main exit tunnel. Make your way there.
So, we're now in level 2. Ooh, this seems like a stealth section. Don't worry, there is 0 stealth in this game. Here's what you do. Pop! And all hell breaks loose. Because this is... Okay, don't use these guns. As I said, they're not very precise, and you want precision for these guys. Something that I typically lack as it is, so if my guns lack it as well, that'll be a bit of a problem. We've got a very different environment now. Not as big of a fan of these more just concrete sort of... I mean, like, concrete's cool as well. And I really do think that this game has a great assortment of different locations to run and gun through. Absolutely. In fact, it gets even better later on. Well, no, it kind of goes a little bit downhill just for a bit, and then it gets really good again. Especially the end game. Like, the final few levels are... It's the kind of shit I've seen in my dreams. I swear to God. You know, it's that, like, weird, monolithic, like, abstract, just... you can't even describe it. It's like, it looks like how... Well, I guess the composer did a good job, because it looks like how the music in this game, when it kicks in with all the choirs and stuff, looks like how that sounds, if that makes sense. It's like how some big cinematic Japanese scores sound, if that makes sense, you know? Now, where the hell am I supposed to go? Oh, of course, the lights. Follow the lights. And headshot. Nice. That never gets old. Oh, and nope, body shot. Headshot. There it is. Ooh, oh, nope. Don't you dare. Yeah. It really depends on the enemy type. This is what I was talking about, the whole Serious Sam thing.
You realize that this has been compromised. They've taken to manually disabling power in order to cut you off.
What's this? Oh, body armor. That's nice. But you know what else I just found? A QR code. Look at that. Typically you get a little notification that tells you that you found it. I've already found it, so I didn't get the notification. But I think, can you actually scan that, and will it give you anything in the real world? I don't know. I haven't tried, but I guess you could take a picture of that with your phone or something and it might work. I have no idea. I literally don't use my phone for anything other than calls and setting up English lessons with my students, because I teach English as well. Go figure. Someone who can barely speak the fucking language, because I say a lot of stupid things over and over and over again. But I guess that's irrelevant now, is it? I haven't even mentioned the glory kills. I mean, I kind of did at the start. Yeah, they're not really glory kills though. You just kind of swipe and you're done, right? As I was saying though, these environments, they don't appeal to me quite as much just because they have this very, they're a little not grimy enough to have the grimy vibe to be appealing in that way, but at the same time, they don't necessarily do anything all that interesting, basically. The game's environments get really cool around the next level, actually, which we will see in part 2, because, I mean, if I go on for even longer, this will be like a several hour long video, and I don't want my Let's Plays to be that long, you know, I don't think that it really makes sense to have them be that long.
You've sealed off access to the highway. You'll need to restore power to the door. Look for a network of 3 switches, connected by cables. They'll most likely be behind some of these doors.
So, as he just said, basically that was an introduction to one of our main gimmicks in this game, which is finding a bunch of switches. And this game, yeah, it really is, it wears the whole old school thing on its sleeve, but it does feel distinctly modern. Just because how smooth it is. Not to say that old games can't feel smooth, they can. But there's a very certain punch to the action here, which I really enjoy. And right now, what we've got to do is find free switches, of course. And then we're going to have to find some key cards, and it's going to be all that classic shit all over again. But it's fine, actually. It doesn't go overboard. The levels are not maze-like in any way. They're very dynamic. And they're also very guided. I never really find myself too lost. I'll get a little bit confused for a few seconds, and then I'll fix myself up.
2, 1 left.
I don't even know where the first one was, but apparently I activated it. Oh, doggy, robot dog, and douchebag right here. Kill him. There you go. Where's the robot dog? He's, you know, actually he kind of reminds me of the clear skeletons from Serious Sam as well. Shoot them. I don't really take too much of an advantage of their weak points, to be perfectly honest, because sometimes you just can't be bothered. Now, can you? Where the hell do we have to go? Yeah, this game has a very heavy emphasis on parkour, as you can tell, and it's really fun. It's very smoothly executed. I think I've already no, that's not even that's a health pack, which I don't need because I haven't taken that much damage, and I do not intend on making the enemies any more challenging. Ding.
Good. The door should open now.
Very clever, see? They guide you using these lights, and they're green. And again, I'm not a fan of this whole thing, though. This sheen.
Behind the bed of this truck. It'll let you sneak past the guards.
Though, again, as I said, there is no real stealth. Any supposed stealth right now, it's all an illusion. It's just for the sake of getting the game moving. But don't worry, like, you don't have to sneak past anyone, you don't get detected, no. I mean, in fact, I didn't even do this my first time. You can totally just run through, you know, fuck, I'm just gonna do it. Let's just do it. You can just run through this section, you know? Look at that truck, chunky, I love chunky models like that, it's great. But yeah, you don't actually have to use it. Whoa, that's very Doom 2016, oh. Gonna shoot these dudes in the face. These are the chunky boys. They take some more hits, and fittingly enough, they have shotguns. And this right here is a shotgun. Yeah, we're gonna get all Doom up in here. Doom 2 action. I wonder if I should do a playthrough of Doom. 1 or 2, doesn't really matter. I don't know, it's just the kind of game that, like, I feel has just been done to death. So there's no real point. I mean, when in a universe where Big Mac Davis exists, there's no real point in anyone ever doing a playthrough of Doom, other than him. Like, he is one of the best old school first-person shooter walkthrough, guys. Like, because it's entertaining and informative, and that's very hard to pull off with the right mix of both elements. You know, like, it's really fun to watch, but you also figure out all the secrets. Kudos to that guy.
This was once your favorite, wasn't it?
You see, that is in reference to the fact that basically everyone loves shotguns and first-person shooters except Doom 3 for some reason. Yeah, what the fuck was up with that one? I've only played Doom 3 just a little bit. I don't even know if I got far enough to get the shotgun, to be honest. Did I? God, I haven't played it in so long. I don't know, like, I got the game just to see, like, oh, it's Doom 3, and now I'm like, okay, I don't want to play it, though, to be honest. There's a lot of games that just I have because I'm curious, just like, oh, I wonder what kind of game this is. I mean, I know what kind of game it is, a first-person shooter. But, you know, it's always more than just that. Like, you can always boil something down to, like, well, it's this kind of game. It's a strategy, it's a platformer, it's a racing game. But because of just the inherent differences in the way the games are made by different people and different software and technology, there's always going to be differences. Like this, you could just call this Quake. You could just call this Doom. You could just call this Serious Sam plus a slide jump. But it's not. Or at least, that's not what it feels like.
This club. You'll have to locate a keycard and access to Juice Suite. To disengage the locks on the exits. Access.
Yeah, you gotta find a keycard. Told you. See? Oh, it's not telling you that, but I think we find... Oh, we're gonna have to move on through this area because... Die. There you go. You can just melee them. Because there's... What the hell is this? These... These models only appear once, like, in this section of the game. Okay.
That's the key card. Now use it to access the two levels.
Alright, I just saw something I probably shouldn't have seen. I imagine that's like this universe's equivalent to fucking Twitch FOTS or whatever. But they're obviously a pre-recorded message. Activate. Go there, and I think this is... No, if that's not gonna open. I love all this graffiti, because it's, again, kind of high-res. Not that high-res. I know that's just kind of how things work with graphics in general. Look at that thing. What year is this supposed to take place in? Because that does not look very modern, but whatever. But still, it's really cool seeing it, because look at this. Like, when you're just moving around, the textures don't appear as pixelated as they really are. This game is absolute proof that all of this wankery with the graphics of modern games, taking up hundreds of gigabytes, but also sound, that's a bit of a thing, it's almost unnecessary, to be honest, other than for beauty shots and trailers and such. But in practice, right now, if I didn't just stop and look down, I wouldn't even notice, which I can't do because I'll get shot. I wouldn't even notice that the textures look like Half-Life. No, literally. Look at these, and then look at Half-Life textures. They are the same resolution, or at least almost the same. But it doesn't matter. When you're moving so fast... Yes, access granted. Oh, there's you again. Take that.
One more.
Good. I'm gonna find another one of those. But yeah, as I was saying, it's so incredible that this game is able to look the way it does. And of course, there's also... I'm gonna have to talk about this, aren't I? You know this thing called motion blur? Which sucks, and no one likes for a good reason, because it sucks. Well, the funny thing is, this video is gonna be at 30 FPS. So theoretically, I think it would kind of be better for me to do this. As you can see now, the motion blur is gonna make the... gonna make the 30 FPS look better, weirdly enough. But truth is, I don't think that's a worthy sacrifice. I think you guys would probably appreciate...
But they will once the scouts detect you've taken out a whole squad of elites.
Sorry. But yeah, I think you guys will appreciate the extra clarity that will come from not doing this. Let's go ahead and do that. Also, yes, there's a retro mode. And as you would expect, it dumps the resolution all the way down. And it genuinely does. It's not just some sort of illusion. If I look over at my graphics card, my task manager, it is putting in less effort right now. So it genuinely does just render the game at a lower resolution. Which is fun. So, you know, if you're struggling with the performance, to be fair, this game is not demanding in the slightest. So we can go ahead and turn that off. Gonna want to keep your VSync on, though, because you don't want the game running at 2 million FPS and destroying your GPU fan. Now, where the hell are we supposed to go? We're going to be doing the slide jump combo quite often. I think this is Alright, let's cut it off right there. That's good for part 1. I'll see you guys with part 2, where we'll be continuing episode 1 of Sprawl. See you guys then.